Raven Project is brought to you by Big Time, Attract, Develop, Grow.
That means what I think it means. We're in trouble.
Case IH, Rethink Productivity.
Dear Lord in heaven.
Hawk Optics, Vision Accomplished.
What is Sam Hill?
Deer Grow, better food plots, bigger deer. Scentlock, the most effective whitetail gear ever made.
Better find myself some camouflage.
We have been getting a ton of bobcats and coyotes on the bog cameras all year, and so we have a personal vendetta to get after these canines and these cats, man, on the Raven. It's going to be fun. I got my buddy Colby Gossett in. We're going to lay out a line on the Raven and hopefully do some damage on these fawn killers. I tell everybody trapping is better than Christmas morning. Every morning you check, because you could have anything, nothing, a combination of several things. You just never know. It's our first check though on the Raven. We set yesterday pretty hard. Got out a decent amount of traps yesterday. Got probably 2/3 of the farm covered, so we're gonna run those this morning, and then we got a few sets to put in yet on the north end. Day one of the trap line. Here we go. You know, trapping is all about location, especially on these predators. And what we're looking for out here is we're looking for where multiple things come together. It might be a 2-track where a 2-track intersects a food plot. It might be where a 2-track just has an intersection in it. But where multiple things come together, that's where we're going to concentrate these sets at. What we got here is a big, probably 4-acre food plot. We got a 2-track running right square through the middle of it. Big brush lines on each side, and these coyotes will run these long running features just like these 2-tracks all the way through this farm. And as you can see right here, I mean, this is the tire tracks. We're setting just off the outside of the tire tracks right here, because we're expecting most of these coyotes to run either this 2-track or we've got a big brush line right here. So wind's supposed to be turning out of the southwest, which will blow it back across the road and towards this line of brush here. So we're setting, you know, you got to think about it, you know, just like almost opposite of deer hunting, to where deer hunting, you're wanting to be on the downwind side of everything. When it comes to trapping and setting sets, you want to be on the upwind side, because you want that wind to carry all of that scent across the movement. So we're using a variety of baits and lures on this line, and a lot of our baits either consist of a beaver-based meat or a bobcat meat-based bait. So we're using gland lures, we're using food-based lures, and a mixture of both. So we're really changing it up, because a lot of times what we found is it takes a few nights of running before you really get them narrowed down and figure out what they're biting on. The last spot we stopped, we set just a regular dirt hole. This set's going to be more of a flat set, so I'm going to use this rock for kind of visual, and I'm going to just punch a couple punch holes in there, bed my trap, and I will try to blend as best I can on this trap to where you won't even know that there's a set there. Very, very subtle sometimes on these coyotes. Will outcatch the flashy sets. It don't take much. You got a good bedded trap and the right kind of scent, you're going to catch them. We're salting the heck out of these beds because we don't want that trap to freeze down to the bottom of the bed. And as you can see, just like I dug this one out, it's almost like a saucer shaped, because why that is you just want basically the only thing touching is your levers setting down on that dirt. Everything underneath that trap is wide open. So any kind of moisture you get is going to have room to get down there. And also that trap, the frame of that trap is not touching any kind of dirt to freeze down to. So the only thing, like I said, that's touching is just the levers of that trap. So when we're targeting coyotes, man, they're very, very finicky, and they're very reluctant to come into a set that's very closed off. So we've learned over the years on coyotes that we want to try to leave those sets out away from hard edges and be able to give that coyote enough room to move around, where as a cat, you know, a cat set, we're blocking them in as tight as we possibly can and getting that cat to only have basically one spot to step, and that's right over the top of the trap. I'm going to try to take as I'm gonna try to take this grass and basically I want to just blend this back in as natural as I can get it. I don't want there to be any dirt pattern on this trap, because basically all I did was cut out just enough of a bed to set that trap in. So if I don't blend it in, I'm gonna have a spot of dirt right here that's gonna stick out to a coyote. So I'm gonna take this grass, I'm gonna blend it back in as good as I possibly can, just like it looked like before we dug that trap bed. That grass has got a lot of moisture in it too, so I'm gonna take my salt again, if I can get it open, and go back over everything right here. So all this will look the same down through here. We got that set, it went in nice. I got a good feeling about this little old house place right here.
It sets right here.
Yeah. Got all them blackberry briars, bushes around there.
Uh-oh.
Look right here.
There.
Oh, great.
Morning, sir.
We were just talking about how we didn't have no dang fox on this place. Right there, first one of the day. Oh, he's going now. That rascal. You know, a gray fox is one of the prettiest animals that we have in this part of the country, but at the end of the day, they are a predator, and they still cause damage. So we're trying to eliminate as many of these predators as we possibly can on the Raven. We caught this gray. We had a dirt hole set right here. We're really concentrating this week on coyotes and cats, man, but fox too. They're, at the end of the day, they're predators, and they got to be controlled and managed just like the deer out here. We're managing this place for deer, and these jokers right here can decimate a fawn crop, and not necessarily the fox as much on the fawns, but turkey eggs, poults, rabbits, quail, squirrels. I mean, they, at the end of the day, they are a predator and they're killing for a living. So we're out here, and it's just as important as what we're doing on the deer side is managing the predators on this place. So that's what we're doing this week, and hopefully this is the first catch that we've had on the line, but we're hoping to pick up a few coyotes and cats, because like I said, at the end of the day, man, if they're not managed like everything else, they can definitely cause some damage. They look cute and they're cool little animals, but at the end of the day, like I said, they got to be managed too. So that's what we're doing this week. I'm gonna make a little remake right here and try to keep it as close to the way it was as possible. It don't look like he's been in there very long. It don't really have it too messed up right here. A lot of times in these spots like this, especially when you catch a fox, man, those coyotes are highly attracted to fox. So we're gonna reset it, and hopefully we'll have a coyote here in the morning. It's still getting cold, so we're using a bunch of salt in the bottom, especially in the bottoms of these trap beds. That's a huge thing whenever it's this cold like it is right now. We're using dry dirt on these trap beds because it's getting down in the single digits, and this ground's got so much moisture in it that if you don't, you'll freeze up every time and trap won't work right, and you miss a lot of animals. There's a lot of good scent right there in that catch circle dirt, so I'm just going to go over the whole set. That fox has been in here. It's just going to smell like fox. So when we're checking the line, once we get it set, we try as hard as we can to never leave the vehicle, because once we set these, we let the scent dissipate from these sets. We don't want to be walking around them, touching them, anything else from that point on. So unless we have something in a trap or have a trap messed with that we've got to work on, we never get out of the vehicle. Boy, if there is one thing that pisses you off when you're predator trapping, it's that right there. I mean, it's like a complete dig up. Like the whole trap is exposed. This is kind of the part of trapping that just aggravates the crap out of you. You do all the work, and then in that case, it looks like a deer just sat there and dug at it and dug at it and dug at it. That's the bad part about when it's this cold and you're using a lot of salt. In areas like this where we do have a lot of deer, you get a lot of deer snaps with the trap, and then you get a lot of activity at the set from deer, even if they don't trip it. So now I'm gonna have to go back and pretty much remake it. It's an everyday grind out here. We got to check these traps every day, and you know, just like this one, we're checking them to see if we got animals in them, and then also checking to see if they've been jacked with. Just like this one, we had to pretty much remake this one. And a lot of times, you know, the first night you'll get a lot of that because you got so much scent down on the ground. Those animals know that something ain't right. They get in there, they get investigating, pop that trap out there. A lot of times, you know, day 2, day 3, day 4 on the line is some of the best nights once they kind of season a little bit in the ground there. Looky here.
Uh-oh.
That's what we've been looking for.
Good morning, sir. About time.
See how well he's caught.
He's caught good.
No, he's caught good. Yeah, he's caught good. Oh! Got us a nice little male this morning right here, and this is a cool spot because if you look behind me right here, this is a Charlie Brown tree, not 20 yards right here from this set. So we're catching these coyotes in and around the exact places that we're doing all of our deer hunting. We had a set right here where this trail intersected with a big food plot right here. We had big time borderline kind of on the edge right here, and I just bounced off a little bit from it. Had it set right here. He's just destroyed it. So what we're gonna do, I grabbed a clean trap. We'll just back up right here in the middle of this 2-track and pop in a fresh set. It's so muddy right now from all the freezing and thawing. He's just got it just mangled in here, but nonetheless, we got one fawn killer more out of the way this morning.
The Raven Project is brought to you by Grizzly Coolers. Adventure guaranteed for a lifetime.
Precisely.
Hooeyman. Your land, your legacy.
We're not out of the woods yet, son.
Hunt Stand. Hunt like a pro. Baker Implement. Trusted equipment of the Raven Project.